What is going on, everyone? We're back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Chicago White Sox. Obviously, you guys know this team was horrible this season, so it's only up from here. And with these off-season videos, we're going to be starting with the worst record and working our way up through all the teams. So we're going to start with this White Sox team. Obviously, in 2024, did not have the best run. They were 41 and 121 losses. I mean, that is pretty impressive across the board. One of the worst lost teams in history, pretty much. I think they pretty much tied with the Mets or something like that in 62. So just an insanely terrible season. I mean, yeah, this team made history with how bad they were. So yeah, definitely not positive for the Chicago White Sox. Obviously, if you look at this team's history, the last time they made the postseason was 2021. Obviously, they played a really good Astros team. Had a decent shot in that series. Honestly, they didn't look too bad. 2022, they go 81 and 81, and then it's been pretty much downhill ever since. And the only thing positive I've seen from this team was their admin on Twitter when they were losing games. Besides from that, it's been downhill ever since. And the only thing that's really talking about with the White Sox is their new stadium. That's the only really conversation about this team. With that new stadium hopefully looking good in downtown Chicago would be really nice. Obviously, overseeing the whole city, the renderings look really cool, so we'll kind of wait and see on that. Right now, there hasn't been any news on that since we last talked about it, so that's kind of unfortunate. But looking at this 2025 season, obviously, they're going to call up a couple prospects. We do know this. A lot of their top players are supposed to get called up in 2025. So if we take a look at this, we can see Nolan Schultz right here. Currently, their first round pick in 2022, left-handed pitcher currently in AA. Supposed to be called up in 2025. If we look at his 2024 campaign, 2.24 ERA in the minor leagues with the high A team and in AA. Obviously, he pitched way more in AA and had a pretty good ERA. And he just looks like a good pitcher from the numbers. I mean, when your opponents are batting a 202, that's pretty solid. If we look at Hagen Smith right here, he was obviously their first round pick in 2024 at 5th. Another left-handed pitcher. He's projected 2025 as well, which I think is kind of surprising because they only pitched 7.2 innings last year. So to go from that to MLB ready, I just don't think is likely, honestly. It might be 2026 at this point. He posted a 3.25 ERA, and his opponents were batting 250 against him as well. So I feel like he's got to have way more time in the minor leagues, to be honest. I feel like that projection might be a little wrong. Colson Montgomery is also projected 2025. He was drafted in 2021 at the 21st pick, and his 2024 campaign, not the greatest compared to his years past. He spent the whole year in AAA. He batted a 214, so not really the best. Had 104 hits throughout that season, 21 doubles, 3 triples, 18 home runs, and 63 RBIs. So not the greatest campaign in that AAA. So he's got to definitely turn it around in 2025 and kind of see what he's made of. And obviously, if he does well enough, he could definitely get called up for sure, just because the White Sox definitely need some new players. And the last player they have up in 2025 is actually their catcher. So very interesting. He was signed in 2021. He was signed in 2021 from the Angels. So obviously in 2024, actually batted pretty well. He was at a 280 AAA. He was at a 295 batting average. So definitely pretty solid. If we look at his stats, he only had about 98 hits throughout his 2024 season. Had about 16 doubles, 16 home runs, 70 RBIs. So actually one of the better ones. He just needs more games played, I think is the problem. I mean, he only played 98 games. Obviously, most of these games were played in AA, but he's now with the AAA squad. So projected 2025 could definitely happen with the way he's hitting. Just got to see him under more games played at that AAA level. And then maybe he got a shot to get called up to the league. And there's a couple more players that might have the chance to get called up, but those are just some of the top level guys. Those are their first 4 players in their system. So definitely got a good shot to maybe improve there. But yeah, just looking at this season on a whole, it just wasn't it. I mean, they had a couple trades, right? They obviously had that 3-team trade over the deadline with the Dodgers and Cardinals, which wasn't bad. Have been some rumors about Garrett Crochet when I'm editing this video about him getting traded. Now we'll wait and see if he does get traded. He did pitch a really good season in 2024, but he's one of the pieces that the White Sox do have. So we'll kind of wait and see if he's going to get traded. There has been a couple rumors, has been a lot of teams interested, but there's nothing official as I'm recording this video. But once again, these winter meetings are coming up very shortly, so a lot of things could happen there. But as of right now, when I'm recording this video, he's rumored to get traded, but there's no confirmation as of recording this. So he's generating a lot of trade interest, so maybe he's not going to be on the team in 2025, which would also be a solid trade for this team. Just looking at this roster right now, it's really not good in my opinion. I mean, the starting pitching they have now, really not good. Drew Thorpe has been okay. I like Jonathan Kanan a lot. When I've watched him on TV, he's actually been solid. He hasn't been a great pitcher, right? He's not great by any margins, but he's been a solid for the White Sox for sure. He's pitched some decent innings, but pitched some decent outings as well. And honestly, I think he just needs more time in the league because I actually really like the kid. You know, when we look at the bullpen on this team, I mean, I don't even know what to say about this. I mean, this team is just, this has been bad. This is bad in the bullpen. And if we even talk about the starting roster, I mean, there really hasn't been much positives to this team. I mean, they got Michael Vargas from the Dodgers, but he really hasn't been proven to really do anything. I mean, we've seen Benintendi hasn't really got back to form. I mean, none of the players have. Even Luis Robert Jr., who was definitely rated highly on this team, really hasn't really looked good. And he's pretty much the only player that has the potential to probably get traded on this team unless just someone has a breakout season. Because across the board, I mean, you look at Gavin Sheets, Andrew Vaughn really hasn't played well. Some of the more known names I feel like on this squad. And yeah, it just hasn't been good for any of these players really on this franchise. When we talk 2025, we got to take a look at the contracts on this team. Currently right now, when I'm looking at Baseball Reference, a lot of the stuff has not been updated. So it's a little, not outdated, but it's just, we kind of got to fill in the gaps. So take a look at these contracts. We obviously know Benintendi has that contract long term. Yohan Moncada's team option, I don't think got extended. I'm pretty sure that was one of the tweets that sent out. I'm pretty sure it did not get extended, so he's a free agent. So I don't even know what market he's going to have, to be totally honest. So we'll wait and see on that. So we can kind of look at some of their free agents right here. We're going to go through their transactions right here. We can see these four guys with Soroka being a free agent, Mike Clevenger being a free agent. And then we can also see on this, Max Stassi is elected a free agent. And we know Luis Robert is here for another season. So like I said, Benintendi and Luis Robert are the only players that this team has under contract. Everyone else is in arbitration, or they're a free agent, or they're in that pre-arbitration phase. So looking at the team right now, it's only $37.6 million spent on the team. They had a lot of buyouts last season, so they're not going to have to deal with a lot of that this season, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, they're obviously going to spend way more money with that. The estimated projection for this team is $130.1 million. So that's like the highest they think they're going to spend, and the lowest right now is 99.1. So that's kind of the range they're at. Obviously, the arbitration costs are going to be most of the salary, right? So that makes total sense on that aspect. But yeah, just the White Sox, they just feel like they don't have any big name players anymore. It's kind of just like mid-tier players at this point, or maybe rookies, especially if Garrett Crochet is going to get traded. So yeah, if I had to give my prediction for this team, like I always do, I always give my predictions. I'm hoping they don't lose under 100 games, but I feel like it's not. I feel like that's going to happen. So they're going to be last in the AL Central. Obviously, the AL Central has been really good this season, right? One of the better divisions, actually. So it's going to be really hard for them to even compete at trying to not get 100 losses, in my opinion. I personally think if they can get to 60 or 65 wins, it's probably a good season for them. Just because that's where they kind of were at 2023. I feel like if they can get back to that, that's kind of a better season than last year. But we'll wait and see with this Chicago White Sox team. What are your guys' thoughts about this team? Obviously, we know they're the worst team in the league, right? So it can really only go up from here. And honestly, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think, you know, it's just screwed? They're kind of waiting for their new stadium. They're doing kind of an Oakland A's strategy. Or do you think they're actually going to try to improve this team with some of those young prospects, with some of these new free agents that they potentially could get? Because let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. I don't think any free agent is ever going to want to sign with this team unless they're getting like $40 million, because it's not fun to lose. Let's just be honest. It's not fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about the White Sox? What went wrong with this team? Where are they going in the future? Let me know. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.